Have you ever felt ashamed in your life? Do you still maybe feel ashamed about different parts of your life now in this present moment? Do you maybe feel this shame is holding you back from living and accessing your full potential? I think all humans at some point in life experience some level of shame. Whether they may feel ashamed about something about themselves, whether it's maybe something they said or did to someone, or maybe they feel ashamed about something about themselves personally, whether it's like your physical appearance, where you live, the car you drive, the things you have or the things you don't have. Or maybe it was something that was said or done to you by someone else or some other people. Believe me, I have felt the shame before on all aspects of this shameful spectrum. And what I can say is it's really, really not easy to get over, but the thing to know about shame is it's one of the most powerfully negative emotions that can affect the way we live our life. It can affect the way we think, how we act, and how we feel mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I want to let you know that you are not alone in feeling any form of this shame, whatever form of shame that you may feel, if you feel it. And you don't have to live the rest of your life feeling the shame. There is a way out. There is a way to release that shame from our being so that it doesn't affect us mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's not easy. It's a part of the shadow work I've talked about. We're going to a dark part of our life. We're going to a very raw portion where we are being asked to be vulnerable about ourselves. So I want to explain some ways of thinking and understanding how we can release this shame from our life. So whenever it comes to shame that we feel about ourselves, maybe by something we did or said to someone or some people, something like that, whether it's mom, dad, sister, brother, girlfriend, teacher, coach, teammate, whatever, stranger on the street. There's only a few ways to truly release that shame so we don't feel so bad about what we did or said. And number one, it's holding ourselves accountable for what we did or said to that person or group of people. And then once we do that, we give a truthful apology where we truly express how sorry we are, with the understanding that I can't take back what I did or said. And I know that maybe this apology won't be accepted, but I want you to hear it from me that I am truthfully sorry. And I am holding myself accountable for this. And I truly understand if you don't forgive me, that is your complete right. I truly understand, but I just want you to know that I apologize and I am taking ownership by understanding there's a lesson behind this experience or circumstance. And if I'm ever faced with that in the future, I will remember this moment and be sure not to act in such a way. And then whether or not you have been forgiven from that person, you next need to forgive yourself. Hold yourself with the forgiveness that you did what you did, you said what you said, there is no changing that. I accept it and I forgive myself, and now I have learned a lesson, and I'm going to integrate that lesson into my life so that when I am faced with this moment, I will not act in such a way. So truly, that's the only way to release that kind of shame, because if you can forgive yourself by holding yourself accountable on all accounts, then You are no longer weighed down by the emotion. And when you apologize, you're also expressing a deep part of that emotion or energy from your physical, mental, and emotional body. Now, when it comes to, say something was said or done to us, it can be a lot harder, because some things people say or do to us are absolutely horrific, terrible, tragic, traumatic, just abhorrent and horrendous. Horrendous, horrific, it's kind of the same word, either way. And some of you may even think and feel and say, what they did or said to me is unforgivable, absolutely unforgivable. And I truly respect and understand if that's how you feel. And I'm not going to be the one to try and convince you otherwise. But if you are feeling shame by what was said or done to you, and you don't want to forgive that person for what they have done or said, then understanding that you truly don't have to feel ashamed, because it was someone who said or did something to you, okay? Now, if it was a judgment and that's making you feel ashamed about part of yourself, then we know that that judgment has more to do with them and a part of their life that they're uncomfortable with. We've gone over that. But if they said or did something to you that you truly are believing to be a truth in your reality, understanding that it's not a truth in your reality. And if they did something to you, whether it was physical harm or whatever it may be, understanding that as horrific and tragic and traumatic as it may have been, there is kind of a understanding that you were at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it truly had nothing to do with you still, and everything to do with that person and the way they were brought up in their life. Okay? And that you don't need to feel any less about yourself. You can absolutely go back to life feeling the same kind of love, and you can go back to feeling that same kind of love and respect for life that you had before. There's no changing the memory from it, but it's just not something that can be changed. And it's only something that if you allow yourself to accept it and to understand it's not something you can change, but it's only something you can understand it had nothing to do with you, then you are going to experience an immense of mental and emotional enhancement and strength. You will become so much stronger. You don't have to forgive them. You will become stronger, and just understanding that, you know what, this had nothing to do with me. I was an innocent bystander. It is unfortunate. I have every right to feel mad, angry, sad about it. But I'm not going to let it change me, because it had nothing to do with me. Now, if you are able to, and you are willing to practice truthfully forgiving that person, then it's going to be a whole nother level of growth and strength that you are going to experience mentally, emotionally, and that usually will be followed by physical as well too. Again, it's not easy, and I'm not saying that whatever those people did or said shouldn't be held accountable and punished in some way. They should. But if you can truly, truly forgive them by understanding, wow, you know, this person grew up or was brought up in a way of life where this is what they are taught, this is how their brain works. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that I experienced it. It's unfortunate that anyone else who's had to experience it, but having that level of understanding for that person is now you expressing compassion, and that forgiveness is really a stronger level of that compassion for that person, because it's like that old saying that goes like, forgive them for they know they don't do wrong, or something like that. It's the same thing. Like, that person is living their life to the best of their abilities, even though the best of their ability they've taught to do things that are tragic, traumatic, evil, whatever it is. But if you can hold that forgiveness, then you will no longer feel shame. The shame is just gone, because you are no longer confined by the emotions that it creates, and that energy, that negative energy is just released and it's gone from the body. And again, it is not easy to do, and it does take work, it does take practice. But that is a way to truly transcend your being into a higher level human. Now, let's say it's about shame that we feel about ourselves. Again, whether it's physical appearance, maybe we feel ashamed about where we live, the car we drive, who we live with, whatever. Okay, again, it's going to be a lot of accepting and embracing ourselves, embracing where we're at, embracing what level in life we're at, whether it's financially or anywhere else. If we can just accept and embrace with love and compassion all parts of ourselves as they are in the present moment, then we won't be ashamed about ourselves, because now we're just living. Now we just understand this is how my life is right now, and I'm 100% okay with it. I'm okay that I drive a lemon car. I'm okay that I may be 50 to 60 pounds overweight. I am okay that my job doesn't pay me $100,000 to $1 million a year. I am okay that I don't have the Rolex. I am okay that with all these areas of my life, because this is my life and I'm living it and I'm creating it how I want it to be. That is how we can release shame. You know, I've brought up even about myself where I used to carry a lot of judgment about my body. And I literally would feel ashamed about that. I would feel ashamed about my body, how I looked, because I felt that with the way I look, I will never garner the attention or love that I know I can share and give to someone else. I will never be able to receive that. I won't be worthy of that. And that shame limited me for so long. I literally thought, unless I was skinny, I will never be able to feel or experience any form of love from another human romantically. Okay? When I began to do this shadow work and understand that that's just not the truth of my reality, in fact, it's just a limiting belief, and I could understand that who I am right now and where I'm at right now is 100% exactly where I'm supposed to be, and it's 100% okay, and I can truly, truly love myself for blemishes and all, for fat gut and legs and all. I can truly still love myself the way I want to feel loved by another. That is when I no longer began to feel shame. Because the reality is, I would never be able to feel the love or share the love or receive the love that I have in my life right now, with my family, with my friends, with my life, until I could truly love myself wholly, love every single part of myself. And let me tell you, once I started doing this, this is where my life began to change, because I went from being extremely, I'll just say overweight for now, had lots of fat on my body, to being really skinny, still feeling shame, still feeling unworthy, not enough. And then I gained weight back. I felt more shame. I felt even more shame, you could say, because I let myself gain all this weight back. Because there were still so many levels of judgment and shame and so many unprocessed and unexpressed emotions in my life, that I was limited in my beliefs about who I could be as a human. But now, through so many years of working with myself, working with coaches, working with family and friends and just everyone that I trusted in my life, and really began to just accept and embrace all of these parts of myself, well, let me tell you, all these emotions began to get released. They were all being expressed because now they're all being replaced with love and compassion, the most positive energies that you can feel in your life. And now my body's changing, my mind's changing, every part of my being is changing. And in fact, I wouldn't even say it's in changing anymore, it's improving. All of these parts of myself are improving. And now I feel that I can live life how I want to live. I can live life by my own beliefs, my own truths, and accept reality as it is in this present moment as a beautiful thing. It took so much work. It took so much understanding, and it took so much guidance. This is not easy work to do alone, and no one has to do it alone. So if you are someone who is feeling held down by shame in any form, and you are looking for just that little bit of guidance or a whole lot of guidance so that it's no longer limiting you to experience this human life to its full potential, I can help you. Leave me a comment, shoot me a DM, and let's talk some more. Wishing you all a blessed day, week, month, life, and year with so much love and compassion. Peace and love.